Let's talk about what puts food on the table. Let's talk about what comes first before the food on our table. On our plate, yes. Essential food that make the food we eat secondary, while these essential foods remain primary. And it is called the circle of life. I am 100% positive that many of you do not see this type of food. And I'm talking about, the food I'm about to mention. We don't see it as important as life itself. More important than the food on our table. Because without this food, it will be impossible to put food on our table for ourselves, for our family. If you are ready to learn, let's dive into it. Let's get into it. Now, the concept of primary food is a cornerstone of the integrative nutrition philosophy. It's a cornerstone. And that is why it is called integrative nutrition. It's a traditional way of treating a patient using holistic approach. From nutrition angle, you look at it holistically. You treat that patient as a whole body from the head to the toe using holistic approach. What that means is you are integrating nutrition into a circle of life. Everything that happens in life, you bring nutrition into it. So you want to look at that patient mentally, emotionally, psychologically, physically, even spiritually. That is what integrative nutrition health is all about. So it's both sides, health and nutrition coming together. And when we talk about health, we are talking about circle of life. Health involves mental, emotional, physical, psychological, everything in it. So they come together. That's why it's integrative nutrition. So when we want to talk about primary food, these are the food integrative look at. They look at this thing in life and they come up to tell you that they are primary food. They come first. That is what primary means. Something that comes first. Something important than something. That is what primary is. So the concept of that primary food I'm about to share with you is a cornerstone of the integrative nutrition philosophy. It's a bit of twist on the traditional definition of nutrition, suggesting that what is on your plate is actually secondary to what is filling your life. That is their core philosophy. They are more important than what you put on your plate. Now, according to integrative nutrition, primary food consists of the non-food elements that nourish your soul and satisfy your hunger for life. It consists of those things that nourish your soul and make you satisfied even when you have not even eaten. That is what it is. And when these areas are balanced, what you actually eat, which is secondary food, tend to fall into place naturally. You don't need to struggle for that physical food. You don't need to struggle for salad. You don't need to struggle for beef. You don't need to struggle for fish. You don't need to struggle for any edible food. If this area of life I'm about to share with you are balanced, You don't need to struggle for it because you will have it. You have those secondary food in surplus. Sometimes when you have food in your house, your pantry is full of food, quality food, food that you don't even know. You cannot even finish it in a month. You always feel like you are not hungry. You lose your appetite because you have varieties. You don't even know which one to pick from. That is what I'm talking about. Because the other side of your life, which is considered to be primary, is already balanced. That is why the other side of your life, which is food, edible food, doesn't get on you. Yes, everything falls into place naturally. You don't have to worry about anything. If you are stressed at work, let's use that as an example, loneliness or unfulfilled, no amount of broccoli, trust me, if you feel stressed out, you are burnt out at work, you feel lonely, you feel unfulfilled, like you don't have job, you don't have this, you don't have that can bring money to buy this food. No amount of quality food, no amount of healthy food can fix that your hunger. No. Can they? Of course, you don't have the money to buy the food. How do you feel happy about that? The answer is no. No amount of food, either broccoli, let's say healthy food or unhealthy food, can fix that hunger. Let me run you through these 4 pillars quickly. And these pillars are actually 12. But we focus heavily on these 4 pillars. And that doesn't mean the other 8 are not important. They are important as well. They are. But these 4 are core pillars. They are core pillars. Now, if you fall into any this food, if you fail in all these 4 that I'm going to talk about, if you don't have these foods, you will definitely stress out. You will. So each pillar has its own stress connection. And I want you to pay attention to that connection. I'm going to be breaking it one after the other for you to know how important these 4 primary foods are. Please share this show if you are just joining us. We are talking about the 4 pillars of food. 4 pillars of food. They are not edible. It's not rice. It's not beans. It's not burger. It's not fish. It's nothing to eat the way you eat edible food. They're not edible. That is what we are talking about. And yet they are more important than the food on our plate. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about the 4 pillars of important food human being must have in life. So like I was saying, each pillar has its own stress connection. And that's what connects this to you. Because if you are not feeling the stress, for the fact that you don't have this food, then it is not important. The stress make it important. That's one thing I want you to understand. The stress make it important. The first primary food is called relationships. Yeah, it's funny, right? Relationship. And I'm not just talking about relationship. I'm talking about healthy relationship. That's the first primary food. You have a family. You have friends. You have, even before we even get to co-workers, you have friends. You need to have a relationship with them. At least you guys will be talking, having fun, going to party, having the best of your life. You can only achieve this if you have a good, healthy relationship with them. If you guys are in a good relationship, you're talking, good connection. Because healthy connection with friends, family, and partners, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriends, provide emotional sustenance. When you keep healthy relationship with people, it provides emotional sustenance. It shows how emotional nourishment and stress levels important are. How that level impacts our health more deeply than physical food alone. Yes, keeping healthy relationship, it is more important than the food you eat daily. Let me give you an example. A man, a husband that goes to work in the morning, every morning, and on return back home in the evening, he comes home with sack letter. The company fired the husband with sack letter in his hands, entered the house. Of course, you know how that man is going to look. You know the mood, you know the emotional, you know the look on the face. To be very, very sad, terrible, unhappy. Now, when the man enters the house, the first thing the man is going to say to the wife, he will not even open his mouth. He's just going to point the letter to the wife. Meanwhile, the wife is worried that, why did you look like this? Why are you not happy? Why do you look unhappy? The first thing man does is pointing, giving the wife the letter to tell the wife that I am fired. Are you telling me that that particular man will eat the food the wife prepared for that day? That is impossible. Why? Because the man is sad. The relationship with people out there has ended. That's how strong relationship is. And the same relationship with wives, if care is not taken, will affect the home. Because if a man is bringing home cash and all of a sudden that ends, you know what that means and you know what it can cause in a relationship. Let's assume that the wife is going to be doing it. For how long? If the man could not secure a job, for how long? And if that takes so long, the woman gets exhausted, feeling that I am the head of the house. I am the second in command in the house. Why am I the one acting, being responsible for everything in the house? That is where the relationship gets affected. The love will be affected. That to tell you that relationship is important. Now, let me break it down for you. I'm still on relationship. The first pillar is relationship. When it comes to emotional nourishment in relationship, humans are social beings. We are social beings. Of course, we are. Now, a lack of connection creates emotional hunger that physical food cannot satisfy. You can eat the healthiest diet in the world, but if you are lonely or in a toxic relationships, your body remains in a state of stress. Yes, your body remains in a state of stress. And what is the stress response? The stress response is healthy supportive relationships lower cortisol, the stress hormone. That is cortisol. It lowers that cortisol levels. When you have a very supportive, healthy, beautiful, exciting, lovely relationship, you don't get stress. Your hormone stress, because all human beings have stress in your body. There is hormone called stress in your body. When you keep a good relationship, healthy relationship, that stress, that hormone become lower. Yes, that's what happened. Now, conversely, strained relationships trigger the fight or flight response. When you have toxic relationship, very unhealthy one, fighting today, talking, dealing with issues tomorrow, talking about family, but everybody is just getting on you. You are not happy with this. You are just, this relationship ends, that ends, your wife is giving you headaches, your husband is driving you crazy, your family at home, your job is not, everything is making you go crazy. It triggers the hormone called fight or flight response, which impairs digestion and metabolism, making even the best secondary food less effective. What that means is, when you go through these strained relationships, this physical food, edible food, rice, beans, whatever it is, it will be less effective in your body. You will not even feel that you are eating anything. I'm telling you this. So now, what is the fight or flight? Because I need to tell you what that is. Fight or flight response is your body's natural reaction to danger. I call it invader. The danger in your body. And that is the stress anyway. This response triggers physical and psychological changes that prepare your body to deal with the threats. And what are these threats? The stress, the fight with this, fight with that, thinking of how to get money, thinking of how to do this job, thinking of how to take care of that. They are all threats I'm talking about. So when you have this, that is it triggers that. When you have strain, unhealthy relationships, things are going on in your life all the time, you have never been happy with anybody. You're just fighting this, fighting that. They are calling you to settle this, settle that. You can't even have a friend to talk to. Everybody, they are all against you. Probably because of your character. Probably because of something else, which I have no idea. So that triggers the fight or flight response in your body. Now, there's something we call digestive hormone. This also is a part of this. When you have healthy relationship, your digestion got affected. When we feel loved and safe, our parasympathetic, nervous system, that is rest and digest system. This sympathetic nervous system is activated, and that allows us to absorb the nutrients from our physical food. When we feel loved, remember I mentioned it last week. I talked about happy hormone. So when you feel loved, you feel happy. And I talked about how this happy home affects your digestion. So I'm talking about it today now. If you keep healthy relationship, if you feel loved, you feel wanted, you feel safe anywhere you are, there is a system and things in your body that is called parasympathetic nervous system. He got activated. It becomes active. Now, a healthy relationship is a proxy for hunger. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you today. Most of you that keep no healthy relationship, you realize that you are alone by yourself. Nobody to go and talk to, nobody to go and see. You realize that when you are at home, you begin to eat this, eat that, eat this, eat that. It happens to me too. Yes. When I'm lonely, if I go to work, you see my desk is full of snacks. Because I'm by myself on my desk, except somebody come to talk to me. I'm working 24 hours. Even when I get home, same thing. Okay? But to keep myself low, to activate that hormone in my body, I have to be eating something. Except if somebody come to talk to me. I can't, if someone is talking to me, there's no way I'll be eating. Of course, courtesy now, manners. I won't eat. But for the fact that there's nobody around me, I'm not talking to anybody, that's why I'm keeping myself busy eating. So people that have that particular problem with relationships, they tend to eat a lot. That's what we call proxy for hunger. Many people overeat or crave sugar when they actually starve for affection or belonging. When we feel like we're supposed to be with somebody, talking with our boyfriend or our families, our friends, and they're nowhere to be found, we want to replace them with something, eating all the time. I'm not sure if any one of you have felt like that before. This is why relationships are considered more essential than what is on our plates. Moving on to the second pillar. If you're just joining us, I just finished talking about first pillar, which is relationship. We're going to four of them. We're going to talk about 4 of them. So the second pillar is called career. Career. And I'm going to stretch a bit on this because this is my favorite. If I can't finish it today, and I want to try my best to finish it today. If I can't, I'll continue next week. We must talk about these pillars. And before I say why this career, the second pillar, is more important than food, first, let's get you acquainted with the career itself. When you hear the word career, what does it mean to you? What does career mean to you? And I'm basically asking you for the list of careers. You want to write it in the chat if you know what career is? Write it in the chat. What is career? Name 2 or 3 careers you know. Drop it in the chat. Because I'm gonna pay a little bit more time on this. Because this is the particular area that determine the food on your table. Yes. Career is divided into 5 categories. 5 categories. Number 1 is traditional professional careers. Traditional professional career is number 1. And in this type of category of careers, you have corporate office work, which is management, administration, and administrative, finance, or tech roles. These are corporate. We have healthcare under traditional professional careers. Doctors, nurses, caregivers. I mean, highly rewarding but high risk for burnout, hunger. We have creative industries under traditional professional careers. Artists, writers, designers, and musicians, they are all careers. This type of creative industries. Education falls under traditional professional career as well. We have teachers, we have professors, we have coaches. Yes, I have a traditional professional career because I'm a healthcare professional, I'm a coach, and I'm a corporate worker. Yes. So I can see myself in traditional professional career. I can also see myself in entrepreneurial and self-employed. I'm self-employed. Even though I work for a company, I have my own business. So I fall into that category as well. And that is the second category of career I'm talking about. Entrepreneurial and self-employed. And this is where you see small businesses. When you manage your own shop, your brand, or your service, that is a small business owners. Freelancers, people who trade their skills, writing, coding, consulting for flexibility. This is a career. Content curators, just like I'm doing on TikTok now, on YouTube. Building a community and sharing knowledge is a career that feeds the soul. Yes, it is. The third category is called service and community-based. Service and community-based, it's also a career category. That is where you find non-profit work. I mean, working for a cause or charity. Volunteerism is another one. It's also a service community-based career. For some, their primary food comes from full-time or heavy commitment volunteering rather than a paid salary. I've worked for a company, both in healthcare, education, in business world, for not getting paid voluntarily, and that helps me a lot. He helped me create, my resume to gather experience, because when I first graduated from school, even though I was working in my university then, I still see that I don't have enough experience to put me in the workforce. So I have to do voluntary service. That is a career. Ministry, spiritual leadership, serving a congregation or community is also a career. And that falls in this service and community-based career. And the fourth one is domestic and family careers. Yes, homemaking and parenting. And I tell people that managing a household and raising children is one of the most demanding careers in life. Yes, it is. Because if a stay-at-home parent feels unappreciated, their career pillar will be low. And that can lead to stress eating. Yes, it can lead to, because many women, they leave their marriage. They can leave their marriage because they are not being appreciated in their marriage. And when they become single mothers, they begin to feel lonely. And when you feel lonely, you begin to eat this, eat that, eat this, eat that. The stress begins to come in, thinking of different kind of things going on in your mind, 24, 50 things going on in your mind at the same time because you are lonely. So domestic and family careers is also one of it, which is homemaking or parenting. And the last career, we have 5 categories of careers. The last career is academic and transitional. Full-time student studying or pursuing a degree is a full-time career in terms of mental energy. We have career transitional. Career transitional, people currently looking for job. It's also a career because you are searching. You are reinventing yourself. It's a career. So all these categories of career, you must fall into one of these to be able to say categorically, physically, confidently that you have that physical food, which is considered to be secondary food. You have to have one of these. If you don't have any of these 5 categories of careers, oh Lord, you have a problem. That means you are not a living soul. I don't know why you still live. You have to have something doing. You have to. Now, if all you do, now it is not a career. That's the word I'm trying to say. It is not a career if all you do is sleep every day and next to you is food to eat when you wake up. Do you get that? It is not a career if all you do is to sleep and when you wake up, you see food next to you. That is not a career. But it is a career when you have to go out there to get yourself money to buy that edible food we are talking about. Whatever you do to get money to purchase that food, that is career. I don't care what you do, as long as if you are not stealing, you are not defrauding, you are not making other people cry. You are not making others cry. Whatever you do that brings in money for you, that is what career is. And it must fall into one of these 5 categories I just mentioned. So sleeping every day without doing anything, expecting the food to come, that is out of it. You can't do that. Of course, you can have someone giving you food. For how long is that going to be? Even if you are still a child, it's reached a time when you have to be a man or a woman fetching food for yourself. It's not a long-time task for your parent. Especially in this US, once you are 16, 17, 18, you're on your own. Except if you are still in school. But if you choose not to be in college, you have to be doing something. Even if you are in college, you have to have something doing. You build your experience while you are still in college. You don't wait until you graduate from school. No. You start building. That is why work study is introduced in universities in America. Work study is introduced for you to gather your experience so that when you graduate, you don't have to be fetching for job and somebody is going to be turning you down that you don't have experience, because they hire based on experience in the US, not based on your degree. Because you can see someone with PhD degree certificate not getting that job, and the job will be given to high school diploma applicants here in the US. Yes. That is what I'm talking about. That is what career is all about. Now, why is a career more essential than food? We just finished talking about the categories of career. If you want to listen to it, it's on YouTube. It's going to be posted. This show is going to be, this section is going to be posted on YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube. So it's live on YouTube as well. So if you want to revisit, you can go back there and, watch over and over the list of career categories. Okay. So now let's talk about why is career more essential than food. Don't forget, this is the second pillar of primary food. We're talking about 4 pillars of primary food here today. And the first one is relationships. And I'm on second one, which is career. And I just listed the list of, categories of career. Let's talk about why it's more important than food we eat, the edible food. Now, career is a vital primary food. You know why it's vital? It is vital because most of us spend our waking hours, not working, when we wake up in the morning. We wake up to work. So we spend our waking hours at work. What that means is you're supposed to be in your house sleeping, but you need money. You have to go to work to earn that money. If you render that service to them, they are owing you. They become your debtor. They are owing you the service you render. Okay? So career is about purpose versus survival. You need to leave your comfort zone, that's your beautiful bed, and go out there, serve somebody, or do your business. If you're self-employed, do your business, produce your products, whatever you want to do to survive in life. Your purpose against your survival. That is what career is all about. When your work aligns with your passion and values, it provides a sense of purpose that fits your spirit. Without this, even a perfect diet can feel empty. Yes. Now, what is the stress response if you don't have a fulfilling career? And when I say fulfilling career, it means that you have a job that is bringing money for you. You have a business that is providing excellent and beautiful income. Either way. Or you are in school. You're still studying with the hope that when you graduate, you're going to get a good job. That is a fulfilling career I'm talking about. All right? Or if you are a stay-home mom, you're nursing, you're training your children. When they grow up, they become successful in life. That is a career. Your service is rendered to your children. Okay? Now, what is the stress response? The stress connection is this. A toxic or unfulfilling job keeps the body in a state of chronic stress. And this elevation of cortisol, I mentioned it earlier when I was talking about relationship. The elevation of cortisol can lead to inflammation and weight gain, regardless of what you eat. Whether you eat healthy food or an unhealthy food. If you have a toxic job or you don't have a job at all, some of us go to work we don't like. So there's some work that gets you crazy. You get to a job. Have you ever noticed that sometimes when you wake up in the morning, you don't feel like going to that job? That means you don't have a job you like. So it is important you keep a job you like, job that brings you joy, jobs that makes you happy, job that you want to wake up. You want money to come so that you can go to that job. And that's what makes you happy. If you fail to have this type of job, it elevates your cortisol and it leads to inflammation and weight gain, regardless of any food you eat, whether it is healthy or unhealthy. You will definitely get it. There's something we call boredom hunger in this type of career, this type of food. Unfulfilling work often leads to emotional eating during the day or revenge eating at night to compensate for a lack of professional satisfaction. When you don't have that job, when you don't have career, you don't have business of your own, no money is coming in, you begin to eat. Your emotional eating gets activated. You eat day and night, even in the midnight, you cannot even sleep. You begin to think, you begin to go to your refrigerator, to your pantry. You want to snack on this, you want to eat on that. That's what happened. It's called boredom hunger. Okay? Now, this is where it gets interesting. Energy levels. What happens to your energy levels? A career you love energizes you, whereas a draining job can leave you too exhausted to make healthy secondary food choices. I told you, I just gave you an example. When I'm at work, nobody I'm talking to, I'm always working. I'm going to snack on something. It is important. I have healthy bars, almond, cashew nut, pistachio. I have the boxes. I will begin to snack on them, even though they are healthy. They can still hurt me if I eat too much. So this is energy level you get. When you have good career, it energizes you. But if you don't have a good career, no job, you have a draining job that got you crazy, that will work you up all the time. You have a supervisor that is getting on you. That is even the worst part. If you have a supervisor that got on you all the time, oh Lord Jesus, you want to quit that job immediately. I'm not saying you should quit, or you feel like quitting that job immediately. You have to get something else before you can quit. Please don't quit your job if you don't have another one, because you need to pay bills. So sometimes we keep that job just to pay bills, to balance some areas. That's why many people still keeping that particular job that are not making them happy. And we have a lot of that. That's why you see many people having better job, the job that pays good. But the stress behind that job, you don't see it. People don't see it. I am the one. You are the one that experienced that stress. All this threats, all these invaders at your jobs. Yet you are still doing that work. You are still doing that job. You are still providing that service because you need the money. You want to be a career person in life. That's why you still keep it. And that energizes you. But if you don't, it makes you exhausted. Yes, the third pillar of primary food is physical activity. That's the third pillar of primary food. The food that are more important than the food on your plate we are talking about here today. Physical activity. Why is it more essential than foods? Physical activity is a primary food because it changes your internal biochemistry in ways that food alone cannot. And that is why we always advise that even though you eat, get up, walk around, move around. Why? Because it changes your internal biochemistry. It's in a way that the physical food cannot. It cannot. If you don't move around to change your internal biochemistry, even though the food is healthy, you will gain weight. You will have diabetes. You will have high blood pressure. And every other thing begins to activate in your body. It regulates your appetite. What that means is regular movement helps regulate the hormones that control hunger. Yes, that's what happens. Pay attention when you go to the gym or you have your materials, your tools, your equipment in the house. When you are on your, for instance, treadmill, the only thing you will feel putting in this mouth is water because you get dehydrated. Any exercise you do, you get dehydrated. That is why you always see those people at gym or anyone on exercise tools, equipment, holding water, drinking water, because your body get dehydrated. Okay? So if you have that type of lifestyle, exercising your body, it means your regular movement will help you regulate the hormone that controls hunger. And we often eat because we are restless, not because we are hungry. So movement satisfies that restlessness. When you sit doing nothing, we are not hungry, but you just want to be eating something. It's not because you are hungry. But when you keep doing something, you pay attention. When you are, for instance, house chores. If you're doing house chores, will you be eating? No. Why? Because your body is active. It's not demanding for food. It's active. That's why you don't feel hungry. The moment you sit down, you either want to drink water or you want to eat something. If nothing is keeping you busy, either you are doing something with the whole body, or you are using any part of your body parts, either your mouth, your hands, your legs, your eyes, to do something. That's when you don't feel that hunger. Okay? Physical activity sparks metabolism. That's what physical activity does. It sparks metabolism. Physical activities is the engine that allows your body to process secondary food, your salad, your eba, your rice, your beans, your oat, your beef, your fish, your this, your that. Physical activity is the engine that allows those food processed. That is why they ask you to, again, exercise yourself when you eat. Don't just sit after eating. Get up. Let the food process by moving your body. Okay? So without it, even if the cleanest diet can lead to stagnation and low energy. Don't say because you have eaten, you have energy. No, if you don't move your body and exercise, you feel stagnant and low energy. Physical activities gives mental clarity and mood. Mental clarity and mood. Exercise releases endorphins and neurotransmitters. I mentioned it last week. Neurotransmitter. Dopamine. That is what that exercise release in your body. It's called mental clarity and mood. When you exercise your body, that hormone, dopamine hormone, the hormone that makes you happy, the hormone that deactivates the stress in your body. That is what happens. Endorphin and neurotransmitters. When we lack this natural high, we often seek it out through sugar and processed comfort foods. When we don't do this exercise, we want to replace it with something. We crave for something. Sugar, of course, you only crave for sugar. Something sweet. And the last one under physical activity, before I go to number 4 of pillar and primary if the pillar of primary food, is body connection. One moment. It's called body connection. Movement helps you stay in your body, making it very easier to hear actual hunger and fullness cues, which prevent mindless overeating. When you move your body, it helps you stay in your body. You feel your body. You know that you feel light. You feel like, yes, your body look good. But when you don't move your body, you sit in a spot. Sedentary lifestyle. You don't feel your body. You don't. And that makes it easier to hear your actual hunger. You will be hearing that you are hungry. But when you are busy doing something, you don't think that hormone in your body will not tell you that you are hungry. No, because you are busy. You will become hungry when the time comes. Because when the time to eat, the hormone in your body will be activated. But not that when you just eat, maybe you're just taking your breakfast now and you just sit, you're not doing anything. In the next few minutes, you will be feeling hungry again. That is what I'm talking about. Yes. And the last pillar is called spirituality. Many people think when you hear spirituality, it's about church. I'm not talking about church here. I'm not a church person. That was before, not now. Spirituality is the fourth pillar of primary food. And why is it more essential than food we eat regularly? Spirituality is a powerful primary food that provides a sense of connection and peace that physical nourishment cannot replace. It cannot replicate it. Yes, soul satisfaction. Spirituality, whether through religion, meditation, nature, or mindfulness, spirituality provides a deep sense of fullness. When the soul is satisfied, the urge to overindulge in secondary food, which is the rice, beans, whatever, significantly diminishes. Everything is not about food. Fast sometimes. Stay out of food sometimes. Connect with your creator. Speak to your inner mind. Leave a day out. You are not fasting because of church. That is why I hate this fasting that everybody. I'm not condemning any church. Please, don't come for me. When you want to fast, I've never participated in it anyway. They want to say, oh, they're doing 70 days fasting, 100 days fasting. It's okay for you to do that. That's the way you know to do your thing. But that shouldn't be the day you will fast. That's what I'm trying to say. You can choose a day. It can even be a half day. Half a day is fine. You can start from your morning till afternoon, 12 or 2 or 3. Stay out of it. You want to connect to your inner mind. You want to speak to your creator. And you don't have to be in church. You don't have to belong to any church before you do that. Doing that, you are not only, serving or you are not only serving your spirit, your soul. You are also activating an hormone in your body. So when you practice this spirituality, it provides a deep sense of fullness for your body, for your spirit, for your soul. Spirituality is the antidote to stress. Yes, it is. Spiritual practices activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Spirituality. When you practice spirituality, and again, it doesn't have to be church. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be going to the mosque, being a Muslim or Christian or traditional way or Judaism or Jewish or whatever. As long as when we talk about creator, we're talking about God. God created every living soul. So whichever way you decide, you choose to talk to your God, do it. That's what I'm talking about. If you're a Christian, know how to do it. Don't do it because somebody asks you to do it. Because your pastor is telling you to do it. That is when you'll be doing it. No. Because the spiritual practices activate the parasympathetic nervous system, and that automatically lowers your blood pressure and cortisol. So it has nothing to do with church. You can do it on your own. And this creates an internal environment where the body can heal and thrive. If I'm doing this in my house, what business pastor, imam, or traditional ruler, traditional herbalist, or whatever it is, got to do with it? I'm doing it in my house. It is my body. It's me and my God. And I can do it anywhere, either in my house or when I travel or at my workplace. Anywhere I can do it. Because I want to create an internal environment where my body can heal and thrive. And I don't have to do it telling anybody or somebody telling me to do so. And when you are spiritual, you will find meaning. Yes, the reason why many people cannot find meaning today is because they believe in what people are going to tell them to do, either in church or in the mosque or anywhere. You don't have to be in any of this to find your meaning. Practice your spiritual life. Do it regularly. Because having a sense of purpose or connection to something larger than oneself helps navigate life's challenges. Yes, and without this, people often use food to numb or to deaden the feelings of existential emptiness. Existential emptiness. That is what we deaden. We use food to kill the feeling of that we are existing. I mean, the emptiness in us. We use the food, the edible food, to kill instead of using our spiritual being. So we don't have to use this physical food to deaden that particular feeling of soul hunger. Okay? So spirituality is about inner peace versus external craving. When you are spiritually grounded, you are less likely to seek comfort in emotional eating. And that's why you see a lot of pastors. I know many pastors out there. And if I say I don't go to church, that doesn't mean that. When I say I don't go to church, I don't subject myself to a church or to a pastor. That's why I say I don't go to church. I still join some prayers, do my prayer, and that's it. But I'm not obligated to be calling pastor, going to this pastor. No, I don't do that. But I still know some pastor that when they practice this type of spiritual that I'm talking about, you will just be asking that, how are they doing it? How is this man doing it? Because you just see them seeking comfort in emotional eating to be something you don't want, you cannot even explain. They are less concerned about this, the edible food. What they focus is emotional eating. And that is basically the spiritual. See, you see, we find our sweetness in life through inner peace rather than refined sugar if you practice spirituality. If you practice spirituality, at least do it every morning. I don't eat in the morning. I'm not a breakfast person. I do my fasting every morning. You can't see me carrying a bowl of, this is my first food today. My water. That's it. I'm taking my breakfast. My first meal starts from 12 or 1 o'clock. Okay? When you practice spirituality, you find your sweetness. That sweet you are craving for, that can cause you diabetes, that can cause you obesity, that can cause you high blood pressure and every other health problem. When you practice it, you find your sweetness in life through that, your inner peace, your spirituality, rather than refined food, all this sugar, all this chocolate, all these cakes, all this, that is it. Now, all these areas are balanced, you just have what I call the optimal health anyone could think of. If you can balance, I mentioned that there are 12 primary foods, 12 pillars of primary food. But I mentioned 4. These 4 are core important. They are core pillars. So if you can balance yourself in all these 4, and I'm going to recap. I mentioned 4 pillars: relationship, healthy connections with friends, family, and partners. These provide emotional sustenance for you. That is number 1. Number 2, career. Doing work that feels meaningful and aligns with your values prevents burnout hunger. You have to look for a job that you like. If you are creative, start creating something. And when I say creative, it doesn't mean that you have to be producing, creating, building cars, inventing. That is not what I mean alone, even though they fall under creativity. You can use your story, things that has happened to you. Tell people. That's a career. When you tell people what has happened to you, even though it might happen to other people, but your own will be different. There will be a little difference in your own story. Use your mouth. Use your talent, the gifts. If you can dance, if you can talk, if you can, whatever you want to do. You need a fulfilling career, a meaningful career that aligns with your values, so that you can prevent this burnout hunger. Number 3 is physical activities that I've mentioned. That was the one I mentioned last. Moving your body in a way you enjoy boosts mood and energy. If you are on my contact, what I enjoy doing, I so much find comfort in doing it, is dancing. I dance a lot. That's the way I burn out this hunger sometimes. That's the way I exercise. In fact, I can even say that dancing is my exercise. I have my treadmill, all my equipment are here. I don't use them sometimes. But it is easier for me. I feel so comfortable dancing to burn out these calories of my body. Burn it out of my body. I dance. So you just have to move your body. Even when I'm sitting, I'm moving my body. I'm moving my legs. I'm getting up, moving around. So moving your body in a way you enjoy. Whether you want to be dancing, you want to be, running, walking, whatever it is. It boosts mood. It boosts your mood and your energy. You just realize that you are happy, you are okay, you are energized. You don't have to be worried about headache, this is paining me, that is paining me. No, not at all. Because your heart is activated, it's energized, and that is why it's pumping blood out to the part of your body. And once every organs in your body receive this blood, they receive energy. And that is why you feel energized. And if you are not feeling weak, if there is no pain, there is nothing to worry about in your body, why won't you be happy? That is a good mood. And the last one I mentioned is spirituality. It is not necessarily religion. It's about a sense of purpose. It's about mindfulness. It's about connection to something bigger than yourself. Yes. That is it. Now, are you on this show today? Are you on this platform? And you don't have any of this career I listed it a few minutes ago. I need you to drop yes in the box because I want to help you. I want to help you today. If you don't have a career, I have something for you. I'm a philanthropist. I want to help you. If you don't have anything doing right now, do you want to be in a healthcare career like myself? Or you want to be in a business? I mean, you want to become, when I say career, I mean healthcare career, if you want to become let's start from the bottom. If you have your high school diploma, that is the first thing, that is the first barrier you've broken in your life. High school diploma, you've broken the barrier. Because as we speak, you can get job with high school diploma. That is the least degree required to get a job. Okay? If you have your high school diploma, let's start from vocational career, vocational training. And I'm talking about if you are in the United States, I'm talking to you. If you want to be a farm technician, yes. If you want to be a nurse tech, you want to be an EKG technician. If you want to be a phlebotomist, you want to be a plumber, you want to be an electrician. I'm talking about any of these vocational jobs. I need you to drop yes in the chat. Because I'm going to connect you to where you will get this training done. And this training worth over $5,000 that you will bring out from your pockets and pay, including fee for the certification. Yes, certification. You have to have your certification. You have to be certified in this type of training that I just mentioned, this career. Farm tech, nurse tech, EKG, phlebotomist, plumber, electrician. You have to be certified. I'm not just sure about plumber is not part of healthcare. Electrician is not part of it. I just added it in case you are interested too. You are not going to pay a dime, including your certification. It is going to be free. So when you don't have the information, look for it. And when you get it, take advantage. There are lots of opportunity out there that can take you out from this, your loneliness, and put you in the workforce. And you also have a career. If you are interested, there's a link in my bio. Click on it. Go and register. They will automatically send you the list of the center where you can go and register. And you are not paying a dime. You're not going to pay a dime. And once you get, and the training is depends on which one you choose. It's between 3 to 6 weeks. The max, maybe 4 months. So if you are interested, just click on my bio, click on it. It'll take you to a website that you can fill out the form. That's it. You will automatically get the list. Put your address, everything in it, then you get it. You go there and apply. Any part of state you are in the United States. Any. It doesn't have to be my state. It doesn't have to be New York. It doesn't have to be Texas. It doesn't have to be, Georgia. It doesn't have to be California. Anywhere you are, you will get it done for free without paying a dime. And you secure a job and you become yourself. Instead of getting burnout every day. And if you're a freelancer or small business owners, anywhere you are in any part of the world, not only in the US now. In fact, this is even good for people outside the US. If you are a freelancer or you are a business owner looking to expand your business or to strategize your business, type yes. You see, a lot of opportunity are out there. We focus on the crisis. We focus on the negative parts of any country. For instance, US. A lot is going on in the US. We understand immigration part of it is driving everybody crazy. Yet, there are lot of opportunity in this crisis. That's what I focus on. I don't focus on negativity. I focus on positive side of any crisis in any country. I bring out opportunity from crisis. I turn it to money for myself. That's what I do. If you see me doing anything in life, that is the good part of it. I'm on the good side of life. You can never see me. Of course, things happen. We talk about it. But when I'm talking about it, I'm bringing out opportunity. I'm bringing out, favor. I'm bringing out success from everything that I see that you think is not favoring you. You think is crisis to you. I am seeing opportunity. So if you are a freelancer or small business owners, you want to expand, you want to register your business in the US, you can do it. Provided if your business is registered in any part of the world you are, except US. If you are not in the US, you are in any country, you want to expand, you want to become a global businessman or woman, you can do it. All you need to do is to register your business in the US. That's it. Once your business is registered in the US, within 1 year, after 1 year, you apply for green card. Your business must be here before you can entitle to this. Because when people tell you, they have banned some country, some country cannot come into the US. How many countries? There's some visa they are not even giving. Yes, they restricted some visas. But these particular visas, they are not part of it. Now, let me give you an example. When you look at Chinese community, I'm not being, what do you call it? Racist. No. I'm just using them as a positive example. Chinese people, pay attention. When you go to a company to apply for a job, you will never see a Chinese applying for a job. You can't see them. You can't see any Chinese struggling with any benefits, any opportunity out there. They don't do it. And anywhere you see Chinese in the world, they don't. Please, if I'm lying, in your country, any Chinese you see, have you ever seen them coming to apply for a job? The answer is no. Do you know why? Because they are on this particular visa, this business I'm talking about. Chinese will have somebody in their country, have business registered in the US or anywhere, Nigeria, America. When they register that business here, they will train their people over there in China. They will now put them on the flight and bring them to the US. The next day, they start working. Chinese start working the next day. Why we Africa come here, all the African in this country, we have to struggle. We have to struggle to get that job. And when we get that job, we have to struggle to keep that job. And when we get that job to have the money, we also have to go through stress to spend the money. How bad? Chinese don't do that. They have their business, and within 1 year, after a year, all those people they put on the flight to this country got their green card. That is what I'm talking about. This visa is not restricted. It is not. But because Nigerians don't know, Africans don't know that this visa exists. It's who you know. It's the information you have. That's what you focus on. If you don't have the information, you don't have it. If your business is registered any part of the world, Donald Trump, our president is a businessman. So he cannot risk or jeopardize that business because he knows that that area of life, he knows that it will affect him. So as we speak, that's why you see on social media, everybody is talking about register business, have business, do this, have LLC, do that, do you apply for a loan. In fact, if you have that business registered here, I personally have a lot of loan companies, loaners that can loan your business. I have them. What you need is to register your business, get your EIN, your tax ID, and your business is functioning. You don't have to be here to register your business. You don't have to be here to register your business. The only condition you will need is you need somebody here, whether you are going to hire the person and be paying the person, or you are going to have your family doing it. You need somebody to represent you here so that you'll be monitoring your business here. You will open bank account. You don't need to leave your comfort zone, your country, and come here. And after 2 or 3, 4 months, you want to come and see your business, they will give you this type of visa I'm talking about. If you now have a business that you have people working for you, for instance, let me use hair salon. You have a hair salon or fashion, like a sewing business. You are a tailor and fashion stylist. You are a tailor. You have a lot of people sewing for you. And you are on this visa as a business owner, as the owner of the business. That is A. Now, when you have your business registered in the US, you want to say, oh, my business suffered because I don't have people to work for me. I want to have my staff, my employees come to the state and continue, because here I found out that people are not doing this. I can't hire people, or I don't have people, or certain style that I make, there's nobody to make it here. You put all your staff on that visa, which is B. They will come in. How? Come on. You want to tell me that this is not it? You see, by now, All Africans in this country, we need to open our eyes. Open your eyes. You know why other color are doing better than blacks? I'm not saying black are not doing well. In fact, we are the most educated in this country. You see us in healthcare, doctors, nurses, in tech, you see us there. Everywhere in the US, you see you see Africans. Precisely Nigerians, Ghana. I'm not saying we're not doing better. Then being your own boss, having your own business, controlling your own money. That's what I'm talking about. Having access to funds and grants. Having access to so much benefits in this country. Don't focus on the negative part. And anybody tell you that don't go to America, they're closed, they're this, they're that. No, do not mind them. There are lots of opportunities. If you are interested in this, also click on the link on my bio. It will take you to that website. It says, excuse me. It says Launchpad Service. That's the box you click. Register with them. Your business is going to be registered. You're going to have telephone number. You're going to have the business email. You're going to have business email. You're going to have business website. Your EIN is going to come with it. So if you know you are interested, especially those of you that have nail salon, hair salon, cooking, like catering, you have a sewing business, you have you designing t-shirts or whatever it is, you are a writer, content creator, they're not part of it. That's not count. You are a freelancer. Constructions, you have grocery stores, what else? Lots of business. So you can just send me, DM me. I'll give you the detail. So take the opportunity now. It is time to take the opportunity. Don't live on negativity. You don't need it. You'll be born out. So having said all this, please maintain these 4 pillars of primary food. Balance it with your secondary food. I am not saying you should not eat well. You need to eat well. And the only one condition you will eat those healthy food is if you have all these 4 balance, especially career. Because this career brings food to your table. If you don't have money, you're not going to get money to buy this healthy food. So you need to get a good, fulfilling job. That is a fulfilling career to earn that cash so that you can get the quality food your body deserves so that you can look beautiful and awesome. That's it. So that's all I can say today. If you are interested in all that I've mentioned, either you want to have your, you want to do the vocational training classes for free. You're not paying any dime for it. You get your certificate, you become certified. Just go to my bio, click on my bio. The link is there, takes you there, you register, you get it done. Within 3 to 6 weeks, you are done with it. You get a job. If you want to work under somebody. But if you have your business and you are outside the world, outside the US, even if you are in the US, there are lots of business, even if you are not documented now. There are lots of things you can do. As in business, you can register on certain things we cannot be saying on the show. I don't want to be flagged. Just DM me. You have your green card. Your green card, you will have it within after a year, not within 1 year. Your business must be operational for 1 year before you can apply for that green card. Don't say because and Donald Trump is repatriating, is deporting people. Don't live on that. Donald Trump is not going to be here forever, and that doesn't affect business. In fact, business people are enjoying America right now than any other professions. Please, than any other career. You want to get on it, you want to take advantage before it is late, because Donald Trump will go and things will fall back. And meanwhile, the business is still on, this opportunity is still on, and it will continue to be on, because no Democrat, no Republican is coming to take this platform that is bringing money to America. They're just going to come one day and say, okay, all the business owner. No, it's not going to be possible. It's in the Constitution. Take the advantage. If you know, you know. That's it. Take the advantage. And also, I'm going to run a class. I'm going to be running a seminar in Nigeria very soon. I'm going to share it. I'm going to talk about this particular opportunity that I just talked about, the business registration in the US if you're in Nigeria. I'm going to run this class, let's say in 2 weeks now in Nigeria. I will share it. We're going to see one-on-one. I am going to break down the blueprint step by step, how you can expand globally. I'm going to teach you how to do that. So, save the date. It's going to come. All right. So if we don't have any questions, I'm going to bring this to an end because I got some few things to do quickly. So that's all I can educate today. Stay informed and healthy. Until next week, I'm Dr. Betty, and here is to Healthy Living, guiding you and your family towards a strong, healthier, and beautiful body. Good night, everybody.